Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's 10About Town podcast. I'm Brittany Bailey. This weekend is tax-free weekend in Tennessee, a great time to get out and get some of those school supplies. Also, a great time to support a mission that happens every year. We're talking about the Mission of Hope Pack the Bus campaign, and here to talk more about that is Executive Director David Heatherly. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having us.
First, I think it's always good to remind people about Mission of Hope and how it all started and why you do what you do.
Yeah, so way back in 1996, and my kids joke, they tell me I'm
way
from the
back
1900s. I know. The Mission of Hope began with one school in the middle of southeastern Kentucky, and a group from a local church went there and handed out toys and clothing. And they came back and they said, you know what, that was kind of like a mission of hope for that area. And ever since then, we've grown as an organization. We are currently in 29 different elementary schools. We do back-to-school program, kind of like we're talking about now. We go back at Christmas time when we talk about the Blue Barrels.
Yeah.
We have a college scholarship that we give to 12 different high schools throughout the area that's now over 120 college graduates. And the Mission of Hope also goes to 38 different nonprofits across Tennessee, Kentucky, and Virginia. And we couldn't do it at all without the 400 different volunteers that come down and help Mission of Hope go. So that's our organization, and we thank you guys so much for helping us get the word out.
Well, it's hard not to want to support a mission that has done so much good over the years, but this need is still there, perhaps even greater at times, and it needs to keep going. So you need folks to help you with this. So let's talk about what Pack the Bus is.
Okay. Well, the great news, I'm from where we go, right? So I understand the idea about what I like to call not being able to see beyond your front porch, right? And so some of our areas we go in are the most distressed counties throughout Tennessee, Virginia, and Kentucky. And, you know, when you're looking at heavy unemployment, when you're looking at, 68, 70% high school graduation, when you're looking at less than 1% of the kids or people in the area going to college, you don't see a lot of opportunity. That's why this is so important. We began our 29 elementary schools, about 10,000 children. We begin each year for those children, telling them how important education is because it can change generations. And we look at it, it's a backpack, right? It's a pencil, it's paper. It's a group that comes to your school and walks you through and tells you that, hey, we love you, and you can graduate high school. But what it really looks like here is somebody just dropping a backpack off at Turkey Creek, coming by the warehouse and giving us some paper. And they feel good about themselves, but what they really don't understand is that's the beginning of the hope we spread to a child in kindergarten every single year that leads them to our Mission of Hope scholarship.
It's hard for probably a lot of people to understand what it's like to maybe not be able to even have a new backpack to go to school or to have a pencil and feel like you're getting started on the right foot. So this is a tangible thing that ends up meaning so much more for these students.
It really does. And you know, I always laugh because my kids, we've got paper and pencils and everything, and like we all do. But where we go, a lot of the parents are making decisions between, do I buy food or do I buy school supplies?
Yeah.
And our kids show up day one without the school supplies they need. Well, who's going to supply it? The teachers, right? My parents taught. I understand they're going to come out of pocket and help that child. But what we really want that child to understand is education is going to change his or her life moving forward. And that's why we start in kindergarten. And that's why we start with a brand new backpack and us coming into the schools and telling them they can do it. Because if we give a child a tangible object and we reinforce the same message year over year, that's when it takes hold in their brain and they believe it. And if they can believe it, then they get to their senior year, and guess what? They get to apply for the Mission of Hope scholarship, and we pay for 4 years of college, and we put a mentor in their life, and we give them all the necessary pieces. And now we're starting to see those 120 graduates make change in their community and also come back and be a mentor for Mission of Hope. It's an amazing thing. We're starting to change a generation of people, and it all begins with somebody dropping off a simple backpack. And that's why we want to make sure everybody comes out this weekend. Office Max in Turkey Creek between 10 and 6. Come out. You can shop there. You can shop other places, but help us bring those supplies, drop them off. Come see us. We can tell you a little bit about what we do and how much it means to us. But it truly is amazing to watch a child get a backpack at kindergarten and then graduate college.
I mean, to be able to see that through at this point, because you've been doing it for so many years.
We have.
And do these when they're in college, I imagine that's maybe they do before, but that's probably about the age they probably can start to reflect on what they were given through Mission of Hope and how they were able to accomplish what they were able to do.
So each year we have we have 13 new scholars, right, that come together. So they're a brand new class that we give a scholarship to. Well, we bring them to Corbin, all brought in, and we have a dinner, and we bring in a freshman and a graduate and let them speak to this class to tell them how important it is. And what's really good is when you hear that graduate get up this year, and she talks about not only having to go to school, but she had to also raise her younger brother and sister through the process. And she gets there and she starts talking about the money's great, the laptops are great for Mission of Hope. But it was the mentor that helped her through, that we put in her life, that helped her with the younger siblings, that helped her do the other things, that gave her the push when she needed it. Now she's graduating, and now she's changing not only her family, right? Yeah. But now her younger siblings are looking to her saying, I can do that as well. And they're like 12 and 13. And so what we're seeing this whole transformation in these areas just by a simple backpack when they're in kindergarten. And that's why it's so important. We need the community to come out and help us out.
So big we can do this, one location only physically, right? Office Max. Will you be there to let folks know and kind of guide them what is most needed so they know what to buy?
We will. Stop by. We'll have a booth there. Just stop by. We'll have a list. We'll give you a handy little list you can go by. You can go through Office Max, get what you need. Or if you want to, just go to our website, missionofhope.org. That's missionofhope.org. It'll lay out everything we need there, give you more information. You can find out more about what we do, why we do it. And also, some of the people don't have time to go out and do it, or they're like, David, can you stretch $1 further than I can? And the answer is yes.
Yeah.
And so if people would just want to donate, you can donate straight through our website. 91 cents of every dollar we spend goes to all of our programs. It's a 4-star charity. We're doing an outstanding job with the people we have. And like I said, we got 400 volunteers that really make this thing go. And we're just excited about this weekend. We're excited about changing lives. And this is a wonderful opportunity for our entire Knoxville area to come out and help us.
You mentioned all of the volunteers that you do have. Do you need any more, or is the need right now stopping by Office Max and donating online? Is that where, if people are like, I want to help, is that where they need to help?
We always tell people 3 ways to help us, right? And it's really simple. We first want you to pray. You can go to our website. We'll give you 3 things that you can pray for right now for our organization. We believe that Jesus Christ is a true hope, and that's what we're producing. Secondly, we want you to come volunteer. If you go there, we can show you multiple opportunities that you can come down weekly, on a weekend occasionally, once a year, twice a year. We've got all kinds of different opportunities because just this past weekend we were in Scott County. We needed 70-something volunteers to hand out food. Yeah. There's always that opportunity. And lastly, to donate, right? So if you can't come, if you can't get out, if you can donate to us and help us, I promise you we can stretch your dollar out. But yeah, we're always looking for people to be a part of what we do in one of those 3 ways.
And then finally, remind people of the website where they can get all this information.
we can. We ask you to go there, missionofhope.org. The key is .org. That's missionofhope.org.
Well, thank you so much for being here, and good luck. Hopefully lots of folks stop by this weekend.
We appreciate all that you've done, and yeah, we're so excited about this.
Well, let's move on to something else that is going to be a somber anniversary, actually. We are marking that in August, in particular for one community here in East Tennessee. But there is a way, if you'd like, to help with some healing and forgiveness. 81 years ago, the East Tennessee community of Oak Ridge played a pivotal role in ending World War II through the Manhattan Project, a top-secret U.S. government program to develop the world's first atomic weapons. The secret city enriched uranium for the Little Boy bomb, which was dropped on Hiroshima, Japan, August 6, 1945. And on this August 6th, the Manhattan Project National Historical Park will observe the 81st anniversary of the bombings with Message of Peace at the International Friendship Bell at A.K. Bissell Park. The bell will be adorned with messages of peace written by the people of the community. If you would like to write your own message, you can head to a booth during Saturday's Farmers Market at Jackson Square. The booth will let citizens write their own messages from 8 in the morning until 11, and all supplies will be provided. My next guest will be hosting a super celebration in Newport coming up on July 31st. So please let us welcome both Curtis and Vivian Hans from the Red, White, and Newport celebration. You're with Black Market Stage. You kind of are Black Market Stage from what I'm told. So actually, I'd love to first talk about that if we could. What is Black Market Stage?
I guess I'll kick us off. The Black Market Stage is a concept that my wife and I had after the flooding in downtown Newport. We own a business in Newport that wasn't affected by the flooding. It was just off the side, so we missed in our opening business, so we were fortunate. But the one we were renovating, we had just gotten the walls up and the drywall done, and about 3 days after that, it was time to start over. So it was a little disappointing, made us sad, and then during the middle of the flood, I was standing on what used to be an old retaining wall, and I was feeling bad for myself. And then I started seeing my neighbors' porches and possessions and homes and stuff float down the river, and I didn't feel so bad for me anymore because it was hard to, and I started thinking, what can we do? So we started having a conversation, what do we do? I told, her, I said, we've put on events before. It's nothing new to us. Let's build a stage. And I said, let's get Larry Sparks there. And she laughed a little bit at me. And after that, we got to work. So that's kind of how it's got going. It's been our third year of putting on free shows. We do them kind of sporadically. We try to keep 4 or 5 in a season, sometimes 3, but we work with local organizations. We donate the space to political candidates who want to canvass our area. We just want it to be a welcoming spot that the community can use and folks can get out and see something entertaining like this Red, White, and Newport coming up.
I was going to say, with everything that Newport has been through in the past few years, it seems like this celebration is needed now more than ever. So let's talk about how this all came about.
This particular instance, one of the grant partners, the money for this celebration was actually provided by the state of Tennessee in their Tennessee 250, Tennessee America 250 grant money. One of the grant partners at the Downtown Main Street Association was able to partner with the city, and this is a tongue twister, the Cocke County Cradle to Career Coalition.
Wow.
Better known as C5.
Yes, that's a great acronym for it. Yes.
C5 is a great
and
organization.
once they secured the money from the state, they approached us about using our venue because it is so centrally located right in downtown Newport on Highway 25. So that allowed for us to take our free shows that we've been doing to a much larger audience because we had a much larger budget thanks to the city of Newport and the state of Tennessee. And then we just sort of got going. We're hoping that people will come to keep it affordable for everybody because of the lasting impacts of the flood and the state of the economy the way it is now. We're not limiting outside food and drinks. We're encouraging people to bring a cooler. We just ask no glass bottles, so that if you can bring your family down, you don't have to have the added expense. We do have food trucks. There will be 4 food trucks on site, and we encourage everyone to check them out, as well as the Isaiah House having a lemonade stand over on the courthouse lawn. But everyone is also welcome to bring water, drinks, a picnic lunch for their whole family, lawn chairs, and just join us at 3:30 and sit down and have a good time.
Yeah, because this is not just it's not just us doing this. This is a whole weekend of celebration for Newport, and like Vivian was saying, about the local businesses and things in downtown area. They're all doing things to participate in this program. Historic downtown Main Street program we have now. We just got inducted as one of the newest members in the Main Street program. They've worked with all the small shop owners, and Newport has a lot of little shops, things you don't see anywhere else. And they're doing a star challenge. We were joking around about names to call things, like the Red, White, and Newport's fun. We started with punching for patriotism, but we didn't know if that would quite fly right. So they're doing the Downtown Star Challenge, and what that is you can stop through the whole weekend and you can visit any one of our downtown businesses, spend a little money with them. They're going to punch a card. If you come see us at the stage, we're punching those for nothing, just for coming down, and you get 2 punches for seeing us. So it's a good incentive. They'll turn those in to the city, and then there'll be a raffle, and they'll give away prizes. And it's just to encourage folks to come in and kind of see what's new in Newport, see how we've recovered, and spend a little time with us. But that'll go through the whole weekend. It's tax-free weekend, so they thought it would be a great time to tie that in. But we want to focus for Friday for coming down to the show, and then hopefully folks will spend the night and have breakfast the next morning and pick up something nice and going back to where they came from and visit us again. We're hoping for that.
And you talked about earlier about how this grant money will sort of help you do bigger and better things. So what does that mean? What is going to be happening at this festival?
Well, our community partners at C5 are going to be doing a couple of projects. They will have the ABC bus, which is a bus that does children's activities and gives away free books and literature to kids, and also a program on the courthouse lawn called the Little Tennessean's Passport, where they will have stations of learning about history of Tennessee, and the kids can go around and go from station to station, and allows them to learn and get some energy out. The Stokely Memorial Library is going to be hosting some storytelling and also a community art project where families can pick up a tile, a ceramic tile, and paint whatever they want in a color scheme that's given to them. And then afterwards, all the tiles will be assembled into an 8x8 mural to be displayed at the Stokely Memorial Library. Also the food trucks, we've got some local favorites coming in. I don't remember all of them.
Oh, they
but
can
I know
find.
we have several, and more information can be found on our Facebook page, the Black Market Stage. But going forward, we hope to partner with the city again for another upcoming show. I don't have dates and stuff yet, but we hope to be able to continue our free concerts and also be able to partner with other groups like the City of Newport, C5, Empower Cocke County across the street, and just have more sort of creative brainstorming and community partnership in downtown Newport to give us more opportunities to put on events like this for our county.
One thing it really has done is it's encouraged a lot of people who normally don't work together just because we're not in the same types of fields. Rarely do you have the library working with a coffee shop, working with a nonprofit across the street, and working with an event venue. And that's kind of what we wanted the town to be able to do. Now, as far as what it allowed us to do with programming this show, we got to put on in our opinion, the dream show. If you just came and said, "Hey, I'll let you do whatever you want to, and here's some money," go at it. Well, we took that shot and got lucky. Now, I will say some of these acts, they have come down and they're doing this for us at a very reasonable rate. There's no one really sticking it to us to play this show, and the acts are excited. But it allowed us to do things that we have been able to get some world-class acts on the stage. We've been very fortunate living on that road. A lot of people go to Asheville to play a gig. They'll stop in and hang out for the evening and play something for us that normally you couldn't see without buying a ticketed show in Asheville. But for this one in particular, it's going to be a fun mixture of art and entertainment. We start out with a mural unveiling, and that mural I can't tell you a lot about, but I can tell you that it's older than America 250 and the state of Tennessee, and we want to, we see our community changing a lot, and another reason we put the Black Market Stage in existence is we wanted to capture the culture of our area and our people. We feel like that's what draws people to East Tennessee. We feel like they want to be part of our community, and as we see new friends and neighbors coming in, we want to remember the things that make us special, like our music. So we're going to start out with Pipe Major Tracy Wilson. And Tracy, you've maybe seen Tracy before on the field at the University of Tennessee, leading some pipes or, playing the bagpipes, and we're going to start that off on a set of old renovated stairs that we've kind of captured from the kudzu. They're like 80 or 90 years old. They're an old part of Newport that students built to kind of connect it to the old parts of town, and we've made that where you can at least see it, look at it, and we're going to try to utilize that for the show. So hearing a bagpipe bounce off the cliffs from the other side of the river, that's going to be an experience in itself. So just for that, I would show up. But it just keeps getting better. We have Adeem the artist. Adeem's a friend of ours. So everyone in Knoxville knows Adeem. Adeem's a local legend around here and a talented songwriter and a great performer. And when they approached us with the idea of folk and Americana and bluegrass as kind of the theme they wanted to go with the city, I said, who better to kick us off? So we'll have Adeem kick it off. Delane Bradley. Delane Bradley is a 6-time IBMA Female Vocalist of the Year. She's been nominated for Grammy twice. And her voice, Alison Krauss envies her voice. And that's all I can say. There's no higher compliments. I tell folks, once you pass that line into Kentucky, Dolly Parton's still a queen, but Delane Bradley, they'll about argue you over. It starts to be contentious. So if you've never had a chance to see someone like Delane perform, the performance we're getting is a solo, very intimate performance. She's going to bring her fiddle player and send someone for harmonies, but a very scaled down, real, just an intimate evening with Delane is worth, I don't know what you'd put on a ticket price. And then, you would think, well, that was our headliner. Well, there's no headliners here. They're all headliners. Everyone here is a great act. We have Larry Sparks and the Lonesome Ramblers. Larry Sparks has been in the bluegrass industry for 60 years. He helped champion the industry when it was forming its name. Pickety Split is what we like to call our late night stunner. They're young. They're out of South Carolina. Jamgrass, new age bluegrass, traditional music. I think it's going to be a fun time.
Well, as you mentioned, folks can find out more about it on your Facebook page, right?
Yes.
All right. Yes. Well, good luck with everything. It sounds like it's going to be such a fun show, and you can't not have fun if you're going to come out and listen to all that music, right?
I hope so. I hope everybody joins us,
Hope everybody joins us. Come early. Make sure you can get parking. Parking is in the municipal lots in town, and all on-street parking in Newport is free of charge, so you can make use of any on-street parking or municipal lots and just walk right on down the street a couple blocks to us.
Yep. Bring your chair, bring your cooler, and have a good time with us.
Well, thank you both so much for being here. And that's just one of the weekend events happening. Another one is an event where you can really have a ball. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard of pickleball. The sport is a mixture of tennis, badminton, and table tennis. It's becoming the big thing in paddle playing, with terms including the kitchen, dink, and third shot drop. Yes, we had to Google those words. It turns out the game isn't just for your parents or grandparents. It's for players of all ages who love playing pickleball. So much so that this weekend, the Pickleball Playground will host the Rocky Top Classic Pickleball Tournament. Juniors, singles, and doubles can face off starting July 31st, going all weekend long. There is a $55 registration fee for adults. It's $40 for juniors. Spectators get in for free and, of course, are welcome. The Pickleball Playground is located on Ball Camp Byington Road. Well, you probably know that WDVX usually hosts Tennessee Shines in Knoxville, but it is now hitting the road. And here to talk more about that is Betty Smith with WDVX. We said we were going to go regional. You are.
We are going regional. I mean, we don't just talk the talk. We walk the walk. And we're East Tennessee zone. We call Knoxville home, but we are East Tennessee zone. So we want to get out into East Tennessee more, not only with our frequency and the music we play every day, but with our live events especially. And so you're exactly right. We're taking Tennessee Shines on the road. Its home has been the Bijou Theater for several years. Mm-hmm. It's been at Boyd's Jig and Reel before and other places. But we really took a look at, especially when the Blue Plate kind of went to the side for a while with the VK renovations, we're like, you know what? People want this stuff all over East Tennessee, not just Knoxville. So, yes, we are Wednesday, August 19th. We are taking it to downtown Maryville, to Blount County. We have a lot of supporters over there, and that's a famous venue, the Blue Tick Tavern. That is where Roy's Records was for years and years in Maryville. As the kids say, Google it if you don't know. So we'll be in the Roy and Elma Garrett Music Hall upstairs. It's more of a listening room experience. And two great bands, with both with East Tennessee connections, Garrett Boys, who are from the Cumberland Plateau, and then the Montvales, who are in Cincinnati now, but started as buskers on Market Square years ago. Both bands just released a brand new album, and that's Wednesday, August the 19th. And again, a listening room experience, only about 120 tickets, and you can put about 120 folks in there seated. And that's what we were looking for, a more intimate, up-close experience. And so that's what you're going to get in the next Tennessee Shines when we go to Maryville.
Well, let's talk a little bit about it and the history of it. I mean, you mentioned Blue Plate Special. I think a lot of folks are familiar with that, but how did Tennessee Shines get started, and what's the goal, separate from, how is it different than, say, like the Blue Plate Special?
Correct. Great question. Started, I don't know, we've been doing this 29 years with WDVX, so I think Tennessee Shines started close to 15, 20 years ago, and has been in several rooms, mainly in Knoxville, though. And what it is a radio show, first and foremost. It is kind of like the old school variety radio show where you have a variety of musicians and musical acts come through, many of them from this region, some of them national, of course, especially when we do our big birthday show in November at the Bijou, which we will remain and we'll keep doing that every year. But that's what it really was. It started as just some folks can say, well, cool, it's a live concert. Well, if you're there, sure, but you can tune in all around the world and hear Tennessee Shines, and that's our goal, is to kind of go back and do what they did at the Midday Merry-Go-Round years ago on Gay Street in downtown Knoxville, and kind of old school radio that really does focus on live music, bringing the community together with that live music, which is one of our goals, and then putting that out on the airwaves as well. So kind of the best of both worlds for us. We love seeing those people out there in the audience smiling and having a good time, but we know there's a lot listening as well. So it's kind of the total package when it comes to entertainment and the radio station, again, gathering community with live music.
Well, you have been back in the newly renovated Visit Knoxville space for a little while now. How's it going?
It's going well, actually. Obviously, some tweaking to do. I think the old saying is, pardon the dust, remodel we must. Yeah. So there was a lot of that going on. But no, it's been great. The crowds have been big, as well. Folks were hungry for it when it came back. They really were hungry for it. That first show with Wyatt Ellis was absolutely huge. I think we had over 150 people in that space.
Wow.
And so it has been fantastic. Visit Knoxville's been very good as a host as well. Again, a lot of tweaking still going on with that room. They just had a big plant sale in there this weekend, which is Friday, which was really neat when we go to Barley's. But it has been great to be back to where the home for the Blue Play Special is, and that's at the newly renovated Visit Knoxville Center downtown. We're glad to be back.
And I always like to check in on how you all are doing funding-wise. I know we've talked so much about, how that's been a challenge with, losing federal funding here and there and trying to raise that. How are things going now?
That's a great question. Some of the reason we do Tennessee Shines now regionally is we've downsized it a little bit for budgetary reasons because of that. You're exactly right. It was a year ago last week that the rescissions package went into effect and took over 20% of our budget in grant money that was already funded and codified for us for 2026 and 2027. So we had already had that money placed and budgeted. And then all of a sudden they're like, you're no longer getting to do this. Our listeners stepped up. They did a great job for us last August in an emergency fundraiser, and then again last fall. And then this spring, we upped our drive goal to about $85,000 from what was usually $50,000 to $60,000. We didn't quite get there, but we were darn close. And again, it just showed the listeners they love it and they support it, and they are understanding now that it's going to take them to keep us open, keep us making these great free shows happen in particular, but also corporate sponsorship too. We're always looking for that. So it's a daily battle, and it was made a whole lot tougher a year ago this past week. But we're going to work hard because we see the people and the passion that they love. We're getting ready to do a bluegrass show in Smokies Stadium at a Smokies game, So we're not going to sit still, and go, oh no, oh no, oh no. Again, I always say we are a glass half full organization. So we're going to make it work, and our listeners help do that. Our corporate sponsors help do that. Again, more of a battle now than it was, a little more than a year ago, but we're ready for it, and our listeners really do step up and support us.
Well, before I let you go, anything else? You mentioned kind of the Smokies thing, but any other things on the horizon you want to mention before I let you go?
Oh, my goodness. Well, like I said, we'll have our big birthday bash in November at the Bijou for Tennessee Shines, of course. We've got our Summer Night series still going on through October, which shows at E-Hall in August, September, and October. We've got another summer session show in September at the Museum of Appalachia. And again, tickets for the Tennessee Shine Show, August 19th with the Montvales and Garrett Boys in Maryville are on sale now at WDVX.com and Eventbrite.com. So get those tickets early because we want to see this sell out, and we want to see Blount County show up especially, and support Tennessee Shines. And as I say, there's other stuff we're working on, and I think they say stay tuned, I think is the thing. So,
I think I've heard that.
Yeah, no doubt. But we just appreciate you guys giving us this opportunity to let us know when we bring community together, because again, it's about us creating community through live music. Tennessee Shines is just another way we do that.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. Good luck.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great show, it sounds like.
It is. We're excited to get all around East Tennessee with this live music.
Well, speaking of Blount County, there's another event we're going to be talking about in Maryville. It combines bluegrass music with local vendors and also a beloved pastry. Maryville College has found a fun and delicious way to send off summer. The school is hosting the Makers Market Bluegrass and Beignets event August 1st at the MacArthur Pavilion. The grounds will have all types of makers, and then the East Tennessee Bluegrass Association is inviting all kinds of pickers to come and play some music. And of course, there will be the fresh-made beignets. It sounds like a real win-win-win. Admission is $2 for adults. Children get in for free, but a donation is suggested and appreciated. The money raised will go to support the East Tennessee Bluegrass Association. It's going to be an exciting weekend in Knoxville because we are going to be talking about the Kuumba Festival happening this weekend. And here to talk more about this is Obayana Ajanaku. Thank you so much for being here.
It's good to be here.
And so let's talk about, for people who don't know what this festival is all about, let's talk about it. Let's talk about its history and how long it's been happening here in Knoxville.
Well, the Kuumba Festival has been here since we 37 years old this year. We missed 1 year that was during COVID. A lot of festivals missed that year.
Yes, indeed.
So the Kuumba Festival started out of a brainchild of grassroots organizations in 1989. They put on a festival that year and then officially made it the Kuumba Festival probably around 1990, 1991. Because it was such a need for a festival like that, because it started out as just a way for grassroots organizations to present everything that they've been doing. And the kids were so excited about that particular festival because they was able to take like West African drum and dance classes at the time. And it made such an impact on the youth that my mom and Keke Ajanaku decided to create a West African drum and dance group called the Kuumba Watoto Drum and Dance Ensemble. So then they birthed the Kuumba Festival to give a platform for the youth in the community to be able to perform on the stage, giving them just a good platform for the whole city to kind of check out them in a different art form as well. And then it just continued to grow and grow and grow to a situation where we used to have a lot of major artists perform. 20 years plus my mom did that. And, so my mom passed in 2017 and I decided to, continue the movement. And around 2020 I started Drums Up Guns Down. 2021 I started Drums Up Guns Down, and we just kind of adopted the festival as a way to continue to have a platform for youth in the community to be able to perform, not only to just, Knoxville, but surrounding areas as well. And we bring different culturally based artists like reggae artists, Afrobeat artists, just to kind of give Knoxville a different feel of entertainment. It's not only just for the youth, it's for the city at large. So, we try to mix up the entertainment during the summertime by adding a little African flavor, I wouldn't just say African flavor, just African diasporic type of flavor, like, reggae, Afrobeat. And we have a lot of local artists to perform as well, give them a platform as well. So it's a platform for artists to be able to present what they do and the opportunity for them to create other opportunities to do stuff during the year. That's what I like about when we have local artists and artists that we bring in from out of town. Most of the time I bring artists in from Tennessee because it's close and they get the opportunity to be able to perform here in Knoxville. And for me, that gives them the ability for other people to see them just in case they might get hired again during the year. So the Kuumba Festival is a multifaceted thing to where we create opportunity not only just for the youth, for local artists, bands, vendors, people's businesses. We have a lot of local vendors that'll be vending. We have vendors that are coming in from out of town that'll be vending good food, a lot of different merchandise vendors. Just a plethora of different cultures coming together and celebrating just the summer. And not only that, celebrating culture. And we continue to focus on providing a good festival, good, safe environment. This year we'll be on Market Square July the 31st, which is Friday. And August the 1st and 2nd at Chilhowie Park. The community is excited about being back at Chilhowie Park because that's like a staple for the Kuumba Festival. We was at the Chilhowie Park for like 20 plus years, and we had to kind of scale down a little bit as the years went by based off of funding. But you know, funding is always one of those things. It's one of the things that's in the background of putting on events wherever city you at. And it's not the easiest thing, but it is possible to make it happen. And so we kind of rely on not only sponsors, but the community at large. And opportunities to be on shows like this is just a way to just kind of let people that don't really know about what we do to be able to like maybe be a sponsor one year and just kind of learn about some of the exciting things that we do. We not only have programming in the summertime, we do stuff in the school year as well, because the drums and the dance has been an integral part of Knoxville, Tennessee since 1989, to the point to where it's in the school system. We have a West African drum class at Austin East High School and Vine Middle School, and I'm the teacher of the drum class. So it's been one of my missions, I would say, to just continue to keep that silent heartbeat of this city going, because the drums has definitely been the undertone of this city for over 30 years, and so I'll continue to keep that heartbeat going through the festival, through Drums Up, Guns Down programming, and our mission is really just to provide an opportunity for youth to be able to express themselves and heal and deal from past and present traumas. Because I think our youth really need an outlet to be able to kind of get out all of the things that they go through. And through our after-school programming and summer programming, we're able to do that. Not only that, they're able to have a platform to perform at for the whole city to kind of see them present what they've been working on all summer. This year we was at 4 locations. We was at two Freedom School locations, Selmore Green and Green School. We are at the Boys and Girls Club, 2 locations, the Regal location and also the Walter P location. And we had our drum and dance intensive. And then we had a community class where you have generations of drummers and dancers in the studio excited about the Kuumba Festival, talking about Kuumba Festival memories they had 10 years ago. Now they kids are performing and getting involved. So every time I see that, it just let me know the impact that this art form has on this city, to be able to just see generations of people, generations of communities like drumming and dancing together. It's kind of an awesome thing to see somebody that danced 15 years ago, now they're on the dance floor with their daughter because they're excited about Kuumba Festival being back at Chilhowie Park. So that just shows the impact that we have. Sometimes when I see that, it's a reminder, and it's like motivation to try to keep it going. It's not the easiest thing to do, but sometimes you realize that it's worth it when you see those little kids and you see those parents that just showing a passion about how excited they are about just being able to do this and being a part of something like the Kuumba Festival. And I think it's something that's important, and I hope in the future that, you know, we can get more people behind it so we can get it back to its heydays.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. And a reminder for folks, it's Market Square on Friday, but Chilhowie Park on Saturday and Sunday. Yep. All right. We'll have a great festival this weekend, and we appreciate seeing you today.
No problem.
Well, thank you for being a part of this 10 About Town podcast. And remember that you can always catch 10 About Town at 4 o'clock weekdays on Channel 10. In the meantime, we'll have more streaming after this.